Hi everyone, welcome back to Nails by Sora. I hope you are doing well. I should say welcome if you are new, welcome back if you have been here before. Today we are going to be covering Gel X by Après. Now, I've been doing gel extension nails for the past 2 years, maybe longer than that. I haven't really used the Gel X system from Après all that much. I think I've only used it twice on myself, and only one of those times was actually using their entire system. I've used their tips before. I will say, honestly, I prefer a different brand. It is Painted Desert. The reason why I prefer them is because I find their tips to be a little bit more thin, more bendable. The Après tips feel a little bit more inflexible and not hard to work with, just a little less natural. Après is the pioneering company for the gel extension system, which is what Gel X means. It's just an abbreviation of the Gel X system. But any soft gel tips are gel extensions. But a lot of people love Gel X. I'm not saying I don't like them. I just, you always prefer things that you're more familiar with and things that you learned with. And I learned with generic brand gel extensions. So I will show you what these look like. And what I do love about the Après Gel X system is how many sizes they have within one box. So you've got, and it shows you on the lid, start with 00, which is the largest, and you go up to 9, but then you've got half sizes, 4.5, 5.5, 6.5, which you don't find with really any other brands. And I think that's really great because there are your middle fingers, which are going to be more than likely not between the 4.5 and the 6.5, or the 4 and the 6.5. It's annoying to have to file down the nails if they're just slightly off. So this definitely gives you more of an option to have a no fuss, no muss system of application. So you can see that they fit really well. They've got a nice curved edge to the cuticle line, and they fit really well, really snugly in with my natural nail. Now I will say that these, looking at them now, are thinner than what I'm used to dealing with. It may be that the ones that I've used before are thicker because, like for instance, the ombre tips, they're a little bit thicker because they've got the color built into it. So far these are thinner than what I'm used to working with Après. So maybe they've changed their technology, or maybe I just don't have a broad enough experience with using them. The other thing that I ran into last time that I used them, the only time that I used it with their Gel X system, is the primer turned yellow on me after application. And I mentioned it to someone that I work with, and she said it's likely because the primer didn't dry all of the way. So I'm going to take you through the steps of application. I will let you know what I did to prep the nail, and then we're going to go ahead and apply these tips. I did buy them today, and honestly, I'm a little disappointed that I didn't go for a longer length because I've been wearing my nails slightly longer of late. These are medium length, which has always felt slightly long for me, but since I've been gradually getting longer and longer and longer, now they feel kind of average and short. So I may apply them slightly up the nail. And what I mean by that, if I can separate these two out, is that instead of placing it all the way down at the cuticle line, I'm just going to move it up slightly so that it gives me slightly longer nail. But we'll see. I don't want to run into trouble with it not laying right on the nail because the apex is built in a specific way, and they'll grow. So we'll see. But I'm going to size them out first, and then we'll get into the application process. So what I like to do is line them up separately. So I'll have 5 nails for my left hand, 5 nails for my right hand, and then I'll go through with prepping my nails and prepping the extensions. So it looks like the 00, or the 0 rather, is good for my left thumb. Bear in mind that your fingers are not necessarily going to be the same on your left hand and your right hand. So you want to size all 10 nails individually. Don't assume that because you're using a 0 on your left thumb that it's going to match up on your right thumb. And also, when I do want to mention, when I'm prepping my nails, I try to taper them in on the side so that when I'm putting on a taper tip, for instance, like an almond or a stiletto, I don't have the corner of the nail peeking out. I want it tapered in so that it lays flush and goes all the way in. So, and my nails naturally curve down, so I may, and I still have product on my nail. I was wearing polygel last time, and I still have product on my nail, so my natural nail still curves even further down. I may need to file this corner down a bit more. So we've got our left thumb set up. Let's go ahead and size our right thumb. We'll try with the 0. Excuse me, I have a bit of a cold, so if I sound nasally, I apologize. You want to make sure it goes sidewall to sidewall. So if it looks like you've got a bit of a gap there, which I do, you don't want to force it down onto the nail. You want it to fit as close as possible. And if you need to go a size up, then go a size up. So also you want to realize that you're going to have gel in there, so it's going to lift it up a little bit more. I think this still is a little bit large, so I'm going to go for, and I know I just said you want to go larger, but I think the 0 will be fine for my right thumb. Then I'm going to jump up to, I think, let's go for 4.5 for my pointer finger on my left hand. Well, that's weird. It's a bit of a haze on this. Hold it there with your finger. Look to make sure it goes sidewall to sidewall. And then we're going to check the right hand. So it looks like 4.5 will be good for both my right and my left. That was 4.5, right? And I love that the number is down at the base and not at the tip, so that you don't have to worry about filing it off or putting gel underneath to camouflage it. Then I'm going to go back up to 3, which I think is going to be for the middle finger. Good for my left hand. And then back down, we'll try 5. My pointer finger and my ring finger are usually the same size, but I'm going to try 5. 4.5. Yeah, so it's the same. My pinkies are usually different. I'm definitely going to need to cut down my nails a little bit more before I apply these. I need a 5 on my right ring finger. And then for pinkies, we'll start out with an 8.
Passarinho da montanha quando chega voou, voou.
and 7 on my right. All right, so we've got all 10 nails sorted. I'm gonna move this aside. I'm gonna take down the length of my nails a little bit because they're still a little long. Okay, so took down my nails a little bit more. I wanna go in to ignore this. I over trimmed my cuticle. Happens every once in a while. But what I did to prepare my nails, I removed, if you're starting with fresh product, or fresh nails rather, if you haven't had any product on your nails, then you don't have to obviously go through all of these steps, but I did first have to take down the product from my last manicure, which as I said was polygel. And then I went and I cleaned up the cuticles, pushed them back with a cuticle pusher, used my efile with a cuticle bit to go up underneath and lift the cuticle from the nail plate and along the epinicium or the proximal nail fold. Then I used cuticle nippers to nip the excess cuticle off. I went in with a 180 grit sanding band to smooth out the surface of the nail and take off whatever cuticle was hanging on around the proximal nail fold. And then I went in with my diamond ball bit to smooth out and polish the cuticle, the epinicium as well. So as I said, I did taper in the sides to make sure that there's no corners sticking out from when I apply the nail tips. And now all you have to do is go in and make sure you have some alcohol to go in and cleanse the surface. Now you want to brush away from your nail fold. You don't want to push dust up underneath because that may prevent the nail from adhering properly, or any products, not just extensions. Get up underneath the nails also. And now we're ready to start. We've got a clean surface. Still have some cuticles, you know, on the skin, but I will worry about that later. All right, so usually when I'm going in and I'm getting ready to apply any product, whether it's extensions or just a regular manicure, I go in with a thin layer of base coat. You want to always prep the nails first, so I'm going to go in with pH Bonder. This is a dehydrator, so we're just going to further strip the nails from any oils that may be on it. And if you have excessively oily nails, you want to go nail by nail. My nails are pretty average, so I'm just going to do one hand at a time. I'm going to apply the bonder, which is step 1. The bottles are labeled. And then I'm going to go in with primer, which is number 2. This is acid-free gel primer for your nails. It does not need to be cured. Just brush it on, and by the time you get to your 5th nail, your first nail should be dry. Ignore the cat hairs that are always all over my board. I did spray down my board before I started, but it looks like I'm going to need to do it again. Okay, so now I'm gonna go in, that is top coat. I'm gonna go in with base coat. And I'm going to flash cure my thumb. This lamp is a gooseneck lamp from the Painted Desert. I will link it down below. There are several different lamps on the market that range from, you know, good to bad. The best ones that I've seen are this one from Painted Desert. There's similar ones on Amazon, but also Gelish has a really nice one. It is a bit taller, but it is touch activated. So once you have it on, if you're holding the nail and you're putting it, you know, under the lamp, all you have to do is like tap the head of it and it will go on and off. So that makes it very convenient. It is a little bit more pricey, which is why I don't have it. I believe it's over $100, but this one has never failed me, so there's no reason to change. I am going to nip those little pieces of nail that are hanging off.
It's for somebody special, yeah. Can't wait it out tonight. Baby, you special.
All right, once you have the rest of your fingers done, take a look at them. Make sure that there's no what's it called? Flooding around your cuticles. And then give it a 30-second cure. Après is really good because their cure times are a lot faster. Just 30 seconds and it's fully cured. Okay, next step is to prep your your tips. So this is usually when you're going ahead and prepping gel extension tips, what you want to do is file down the underside, make it really rough. Gel-X has what's called acid-free tip primer, and that's going to chemically etch the underside of the nail. So it's a very tiny brush. You literally just want to go in and scrub it about halfway up. You'll notice it's getting a little bit hard to brush, it's getting tacky. I like to go in with a little bit extra just to make sure it's really nice and worked up. And then I leave it laying underside up and move on to the next nail.
I know, ain't no distance, ain't no time to get me back to you. Coach, yeah, get me back to you. Oh, nah, nah, yeah, to get me back to you.
All right, all 10 are done. We can now move this aside. And now it's all about the application of the nails. So we're gonna get our lamp ready. I'm going to move it so that it's down as close to the table as possible so that I can work above it. I can have it turned on, I can get the nail ready, and then I can just move my nail underneath. So I always start with the pinky finger because it's easier as you're going along to then grip the nails with your thumb. So I usually go in and I place a small amount on the nail. I don't know why there was such a heavy sigh when I was getting ready to say that. And then I brush it halfway up the nail, the Gel-X nail. And this is the part where it gets a little tricky because you have to kind of see how much you need for each nail. And these are natural tips, not the sculpted tips. The sculpted tips have a larger well, I put a little bit too much, a built-in apex, so you will need more product to fill that well. So I'm just putting a little bit of extra down by the proximal nail fold. I'm gonna get the light ready. I'm going to put the nail down at an angle and then slowly push it down until the glue reaches the edge of the nail. Make sure you have no air bubbles. I am getting a little bit of seepage, so I'm gonna wipe it. And the Extend Gel is pretty thick, so I'm not even holding it right now. And I'm not losing, it's not coming up. So I'm able to clean it up a bit. I'm not going to clean it up underneath the nail. I'm going to leave it as it is, but then I want to hold it in place while I put it underneath the light. I'm going to hold it for about 5 to 10 seconds just to make sure that it's secure. Oops. That's what happens when you play around. It goes off on you. And now that's pretty secure. But bear in mind that it's only flash cured at this point. You're gonna want to still place it underneath the lamp to fully cure it. But that nail is now on. So we're gonna move on to the next one. And we're just going to repeat the same steps. So I'm going to put a thin coat on my regular nail, starting it a little bit away from the nail fold, so try to prevent that seepage again. And brush it onto the nail. And then scrape a little bit more at the base. Get your lamp ready. I am getting a bit of a heat spike. My nails are a little fragile at the moment because I did a full removal today. But all you have to do is remove it and put it back under. And then you just keep repeating, moving on to the next nail. And you can see how quickly this is going. Now, of course, does take a bit more practice if this is your first time applying any gel extensions at all. But the Gel X system really does make it quite easy. A bit of a bubble in there, which I want to get rid of. All right, we've got all 5 fingers applied. I'm going to go ahead and put this in the lamp to cure for another 30 seconds. All right, we've got our first hand done. We're gonna go ahead and do our second hand now. I've moved the lamp to the left-hand side, and I've just moved my tips down so that I can reach them easier. I do have to first go in and do my prep steps, so I'm going to do that now at hyperspeed.
Baby, you special. I can't wait it out tonight. Yeah, can't believe it's so. Yeah, 20 nights been so. Baba don't lose composure. Yeah, girl, my champion lover. Would you wait for me, girl? Yeah, 'cause now you did cross my mind.
All right, moving right along, we're going to just do the same process that we did on the right hand, on our left hand. The only difference is that now we're dealing with using our non-dominant hand if you are a righty. I'm assuming if you are a lefty, then you are doing this in reverse. We usually like to stick to doing our non-dominant hand first, or using our non-dominant hand first. So excuse me while I get set. This obviously takes a little bit more time because I'm now using my left hand. And I'm going to switch to my dominant hand so I can brush on the product. So I'm going to switch the bottle back to the other side. Brush that onto the nail. Scrape it down. Turn on the lamp. I think that's a bit too much just by looking at it, so I'm going to take some off. I think I just put an air bubble in. Damn it. It's a bit of a bubble down at the base. It's not terrible. I'll be able to file it down. We'll move on to the next nail.
Quando você sorriu, chorei. Eu nunca pude imaginar que isso fosse acontecer. E numa bola de cristal vi o futuro transformar. E o que era bom ficou legal. Passarinho da montanha, quando chega, voou, voou. 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 Que o vento leve lá.
Okay, this nail's not working. Instead of forcing the issue, I'm going to wipe my nail. And start again. Scrape some of this down. Okay, well this one was a cluster. Have a large gap at the tip, and I'm going to have to file that down at the base. What I'm going to do is I'm going to fill it. By just pushing it down into the gap.
Free flowing, sailing with the wind, not knowing how this story ends. Kind and brave, I know you'll find a way. Live your truth, and good will come to you.
All right, let's see if we can finish this off without having any more problems. I will show you after this how to clean it up, fix any areas where it didn't get the glue in, and prepare the nails for your mat.
Grounded, steady, earth between your toes, arms wide, ready, love is true, you know. Come roll, you can borrow calm, piece by piece, thriving in your palm.
Now I was doing the left hand and it was going so easily. I'm like, wow, can't believe I have a video with no problems. I spoke too soon. All right, I've gone and I've cured my right hand completely. I'm going to go and close up my Extend Gel and clean some things up. I want to grab a paper towel because we're going to do some filing and I don't want to break out my dust collector. Now, I did flood the cuticles a bit on my right thumb. So I'm just taking my glass cuticle pusher and I'm trying to separate my skin. What happened is it looks like this nail is just a little bit too large because this is actually the nail itself. So I'm going to have to file that down.
Wait for me, girl. Yeah, 'cause now you did cross my mind. Would you wait?
So it did really well on my left hand, not so well on my right hand. Now the reason why these nails are now cloudy is because I spilled alcohol on them. But we're going to go ahead and polish those up so it's okay. And I am going to end up polishing underneath so that they are crystal clear. But let's get to kind of taking down that ridge, which is ever so slight. but we still want to, and it looks like I have a little gap on this one also. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to do some minimal filing to clean up the edges. And then we're going to go back in with our Gel X Prep and what's called chemically etch the surface. And that's just going to help it further blend into the cuticle line. Now you can go ahead and do that now. You don't have to file if you don't feel it's necessary, but I do like to make that line as smooth as possible. So first I'm going to go in with my cuticle bit. Which is this little guy. It is from Makartt. It is my favorite cuticle bit, and I will link it down below. I'm gonna put it up to, I like to go kind of high. I'm gonna put it up to 22. You just wanna go along the edge. What this is doing is taking down that lip, but it's also helping if you did flood your cuticles by taking down that gel and separating your sidewall and your nail fold from that gel so that you don't get lifting.
Passarinho da montanha quando chega voou, voou.
Switch to reverse mode to switch to your other hand and just do the same.
Passarinho da montanha quando chega voou, voou. Que o vento leve logo já. Que o vento leve logo já. Que o vento leve logo já.
This one takes a little bit more work because, as I said, the nail was a little bit large and I flooded my cuticles quite well. Oops.
Quando você sorriu, chorei. Eu nunca pude imaginar que isso fosse acontecer. E numa bola de cristal vi o futuro transformar. E o que era bom ficou legal. Passarinho da montanha quando chega voou, voou. Passarinho da montanha quando chega voou, voou. Passarinho da montanha quando chega.
Okay, so now that we've gone and done that, we're just going to go in with our 180 grit sanding band and smooth out the surfaces. Do want to go in first though on my middle finger and my thumb, sorry, and remove this little bit of gel that's up underneath on the right hand side. So we're not taking down the product at all. We're just roughing it up so that we can go in with our design. Whatever that shall be, that will be in the next video. And if you want to know what it is, then definitely stay tuned. Mark your calendars. This is going to drop, I believe, on Monday the something. And then the following video, which will be recreating an AI generated nail art design will be on Friday.
Sailing with the wind, not knowing how this story ends. Kind and brave, I know you'll find a way. Live your truth, and good will come to you. Home, sweet home. Home, sweet home.
Okay, I'm just gonna go in and nip off the parts that are lifted.
Earth between your toes, arms wide.
Or try to.
Love is true, you know. Come roll, you can borrow calm.
And then I can further blend down that line. And I'll go ahead and patch that with DGel just to make it more smooth, because now I've got a prominent lip that I didn't want to have. And this is one of the reasons why I don't like putting it so close to the cuticle line. That was a mistake. So now we just want to refine that edge of the nail because it's got the little tab on the end from manufacturing, so we want to remove that. And then we've done some filing, so we may have nicked up the edges, so we want to smooth that out. I just go underneath the nail. I don't want to mess with the side walls and change the shape.
It's for somebody special, yeah. Can't wait it out tonight. Baby, you special. Can't wait it out tonight. Yeah. Can't believe it's so. Yeah. 20 nights been so. Baba don't lose.
Just like going around with a little bit of alcohol to further clean out from underneath the cuticle line. The side, what do you call it? The eponychium. A little bit of cuticle there. It really did destroy my cuticles. Okay, so let's go ahead and use our Gel X prep or our tip prep and further wear down that line. Now, there's nothing really much there anymore because I filed it, but we just want to work our way up the nail and finish burnishing it because during filing, I'm sure there are spaces that I missed, and we want to make sure that the whole nail is tacky. Now, if you don't have the Gel X system, you can certainly still do this. That's not a problem. All you need to do is get your favorite soft gel tips from Amazon or another company. I usually just use regular gel base to adhere them. I don't even use builder gel, though you certainly can. A little bit thicker, it's going to be a little bit more user-friendly. I usually use, well, I used to use Model 1's Prep and Prime, but now I use Young Nails Primer. And in terms of chemically etching, you can just use acetone. It's not going to work as well, but it definitely will soften the edge and blend it into the nail a little bit better.
Quando você sorriu, chorei. Eu nunca pude imaginar que isso fosse acontecer. E numa bola de cristal vi o futuro transformar. E o que era bom ficou legal.
Now, because I want my nails to be as glass clear as possible, actually first I want to go in and, where's my cleanup brush? Go underneath these nails and get rid of that cloudiness. What I'm going to do is I'm going to go underneath and chemically etch because I want to do a base and a top coat just to keep it nice and shiny. This will prevent any dirt from collecting underneath your nails and keep them nice and clear. I'm actually going to switch now to my usual base and top coat, which is Madam Glam. It's my base coat. And the reason why I prefer Madam Glam, personally, is because I find at work, since I'm using acetone a lot, the Madam Glam is less likely to chip and peel. I don't know what it is about it. Go ahead and flash cure that. But I found within seconds of using acetone that the Après top coat just peels away. Whether I'm using, if I get a little hole in the glove of whatever hand I'm using, when I'm doing someone else's manicure, I more frequently have to touch up and fix the top coat.
Passarinho da montanha quando chega, voou, voou. Que o vento leve logo já. 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 Que leve love já para patap tu pap tu paga tu gadum paga tak 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 tu gadum tek 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 ga paga tak tak tek tek gadum tak tek tek gadum tek tek tek.
Okay, so we are ready to go on. Please ignore this. I really destroyed this nail. But I will fix it up before the end of my next video, which is going to be the manicure, replicating AI generated nail art. I was going to go through and show how to fill in this area since we did have that lifting, but honestly, I'm going to cover that in the next video as part of the manicure. This was just about applying the Gel X tips and getting them ready for the manicure, which they are basically there. The undersides are all nice and shiny. But if you are familiar with my channel and the fact that I've now started Trizepatide, it is 7 o'clock at night and I haven't eaten anything since 11 o'clock this morning. I was hungry, but that's kind of subsided now, but I do know that I need to eat. So I don't want to prolong this any longer and get into doing the actual manicure, because that means that I probably won't eat again until 11 o'clock this at night, and I do need to take my shot. So I'm going to end it here and go and eat something and get myself ready for the next part of this manicure. But if you have any questions, I know I stumbled a bit with my right hand because I am right hand dominant, so I was using my left hand. And so if you have any questions, please post them down below in the comment section. This is the main system, the bonder primer and the tip primer, and then of course you have your tips, whichever ones you want to use. It is, once you get the hang of it, it is a really quick and easy system. It's just, you know, getting the movements in hand and getting used to using your non-dominant hand, which is an ever-present battle. But thank you so much for joining me. I hope you will join me for the next manicure, or the next video rather, which will be the manicure, and I will see you soon. Hit that like and subscribe button if you haven't already, and hit that notification bell so that you always know when new videos are available, and I will see you in the next one. Bye.